This is quick news. Yeah, Maureen Comey, daughter of FBI director, she was fired or terminated Wednesday after Trump vented to subordinates of having a Comey working for her. So she said fear is a tool of a tyrant wielding to suppress independent thought. I was right into this. You also have in 31 NYPD relieved of duty of questionable hiring. That was New York CBS report as well. You had a 7.3 earthquake and a tsunami warning related to off the coast of Alaska. You have some other hurricanes too in different parts. One was off the islands. Shalak for not knowing those locations. A few of them actually. Let's continue. Plane crashes, at least 1 and 2 injured relating to Olympic National Park. Like I said, you have various hurricanes that's continuing every day. Different areas of the world. U.S. Senate narrowly approves a 9 budget clawback. So the Senate barely gets by passing that. Dozens of feared deleted after fire rips through a shopping mall in Iraq. What else? Yeah, today, history, 1955 today, Disneyland had an opening day in Anaheim, California. After its 17 million year-long construction. Shalak for the light. So 70 years ago today, relating to that. Disney's one of the biggest companies in the world. Let me see. In this report, Trump says Coca-Cola has agreed to use cane sugar in the U.S. High fructose corn syrup have been Coca-Cola's primary sweetener since the U.S. product since 1985. And most of our foods have high fructose and corn syrup in a lot of our majority of our foods anyway. You know, high amounts of sugar, that's why diabetes. High amounts of salt, that's why you have high blood pressure. 2 major culprits. High in salt content and high in sugar content related to foods. Scripture talks about you should eat defiled food. That relates to Ezekiel 4 chapter, talking about eating defiled food, bad food. See more. Let's get some more news reports real quick. Oh yeah, China warns you're playing with fire related to the Philippines if they support related to Ukraine, supporting on their side. That was on a report on Wyan. That was related to drills with U.S., Japan, in South Korea. Now, Ukraine, China's warning related to Philippines. They support related to Taiwan. That was on the Wyan report. That's when they were doing operational drills. You have Trump wants to get a new Fed chair, get rid of Jerome Powell. More news. Trump has a chronic venous insufficiency, remains in excellent health. Let's see what that is. A chronic venous insufficiency, that relates to pretty much improper functioning of vein valves, also causing swelling and skin changes, man. You know, so, and normal vein valve that keeps blood moving back towards the heart. So, in a matter of speaking, improper function of or relating to the vein valves related to the leg, causing causing swelling and different things. Also, probably relating to that, in his case, and many others, probably diet too has a lot to do with that as well. Also, exercise, lack of exercise, and also related to poor diet and different things. Another word would be deep vein thrombosis, which is common. That's what that pretty much that is. Let's get that relates to that report. Trump will not recommend special prosecutor in the Epstein case. So they're still making an issue about that. Katie Britt reacts to Democrats walking out of Senate Judiciary hearing on email Bowles nomination. Good trouble protests across the nation to protest Trump's administration. So you're going to see increase relating to protests nationwide. Scripture talks about they should take the course of the ash and not regard the kings and princes, man. 2 Ezra 15:16. So you see also there should be uproars, there should be earthquakes and uproars of the people, man. You know what I mean? So the uproars goes to the civil disturbances, civil unrest, civil upheavals, sedition, mutiny, violent uprising, insurrection. That's what you're seeing. In forms of protests and different things. Chuck Schumer furious over the Senate Republicans' vote in the recession package. Cuts will be felt everywhere. Trump's administration hands over Medicaid recipients' personal data, including addresses. I seen the thing talking about tenants under special circumstances. ICE can, the landlords can give under certain circumstances, specific circumstances. Landlords can give tenant information to ICE if needed, relating to more mass intensification related to mass deportation. That was on a report. I seen that the other day. Under certain circumstances, TOG fires Maureen Comey, which is daughter of James Comey, prosecutor of Jeffrey Epstein and his associates. Rosalind Maxwell. Rosalind Maxwell. Teen arrested in connection with the paddleboarder death related to in Maine. Eye on agricultural tariffs in Brazil. For example, how it could impact beef and different things coming from these other countries. Tariffs as a tax, increased tax on goods that affects what consumers buy, man. That's all that is. AG Merrill state changes for officers and visa fraud. And like I said, I believe I said this already, but you had some officers, 31 relieved in NYPD relating to questionable hiring practices and questionable hiring. Probably went over that. It's New York report, CBS New York report. You have UC Berkeley professor ex-wife accused of arranging his deletion. So scripture talks about iniquity shall increase and iniquity shall abound in love. Iniquity shall abound, and the love of many shall wax cold. Shalak. So iniquity is going to increase upon the earth, man. And also relating to people waxing cold. That goes to lack of respect, lack of regard. You know what I mean? The division. Think not that I come to send peace on earth, but rather a sword. Think not I come to send peace on earth, but rather division. So part of that division, the strife and contentions, is part of that lack of regard, lack of respect for others. That's why you're seeing the increase of waxing cold on earth, deletions and different things upon people, man. You know what I mean? The Egyptian versus the Egyptian, Isaiah 19:2, man. And so you're seeing the division being set forth. Scripture talks about relating to not setting fire on earth if already be kindled. That's in 12 of Luke, man, around 48, 49. So a fire is being kindled, the sword is being set, and divisions being sent. You know what I mean? And so you seeing the division between people, man. Even as a man said, your own household, even your own household, your family in your own household become enemies, man. You know what I mean? In a matter of speaking. That's in Matthews. So internally, externally, you seeing different things happening regarding the mannerism of people, man, and their ways on earth, man, because that's part of that, what has to happen. You having protests related to the Trump administration, for example. You having protests relating to ICE. This is in New York, for example. So they are protesting over policies, different things, man. Policies, mass deportation, different things. You also hear nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. These different nations, man. You know what I mean? Rumors of wars, news of rumors of wars, man. Russia, China, Ukraine, Russia, U.S., South Korea, North Korea, South Korea. You know what I mean? Taiwan, you know what I mean? So, also the Middle East, man. Israel still with the Gaza situation. Syria and all these places where conflict is at, man. Then you have a financial conflict relating to these tariffs causing rift and division, economical instability. Also among the allies, causing rift between U.S. and the allies and these other respected nations, man, as well, man. So this is just quick reports, real quick. Hope it helps relate to information. This is Zaya Wolf. We give all praise, Yahweh Shemir, Shabbat Shabbat Kakadash. You have a report here. China wants to decimate a key sector, American sector. And I see something relating to exports. You know what I mean? China wants to cut off certain things that can affect extremely here in the U.S. Let me see. There's a report here. Read this real quick. BlackRock dumps U.S. debt. BRICS and China surge as Trump hits allies with tariffs, man. And they're reciprocally back. You know what I mean? Russia threatens to do certain things. U.S. threatens to do certain things. They'll hit them with 100%. Russia will hit them with double that or up to 1,000%, whatever the case might be. So reciprocally, these nations going back and forth. You know what I mean? I'm going to read this right here. Trump just stunned global markets as massive 25% on Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, ignited a full-blown trade standoff as Asian currency crashes and key exporters panic. That's why these investors, for example, they see the instability writing on the wall relating to U.S. That's why they go into these other Asian, European markets. You know what I mean? They don't trust certain things no more. The video exposes how the U.S. allies are being strong-armed, why BlackRock is ditching treasuries from European bonds, and how BRICS economies are ceasing the moment. The record-breaking Chinese trade surpluses spiral on U.S. debt auctions and Europe pivoting towards China or Beijing. We unpack the real economy fallout behind Trump's demand for Fed cuts. Americans shrinking. That's another thing. He wants pretty much. That's why he wants to get rid of Jeremy Powell, so he could get somebody to be more to do what he wants. Pretty much a puppet. And they all puppets, in a matter of speaking. So, but he wants more of a puppet that wants to do what he wants him to do. If Trump tells him to do something, Trump he wants to get it done. You know what I mean? And Jerome Powell is headstrong. So, and that's why you having that conflict between both of them, man. That's why he wants to remove him and get somebody who will be more compliant to Trump's bidding, man. Because part of that, he wants to cut more rates, man. You know, he made derogatory comments toward Jeremy Powell, calling him different things. So, pretty much showing his displeasure for him, man. Anyway, we unpack the real economy fallout behind the Trump's demands for the Fed rate cuts and Americans shrinking global leverage. Just examples. BlackRock's a major entity as far as the GDP, which is the gross domestic product. One of these companies, the other two, which I forgot, you know. It's Andre Vandermark video. That's the information relating to that. Alright. So this is and you have videos talking about inflation's rising, fuel prices increasing, uncertainty sets in relating to the economy. Different things. I hope this helps relating to information. Zaya Wolf. I praise y'all. Bashir Shah Bashir Makagada Zaya Wolf Shalom.